Okay, let's do 17 in 8.3. Okay, sketch RSTU with diagonals intersecting at M. RS is 9, ST is 20, and RM is 11. Which segment is longer, SM or RM, and explain. Okay, so let's draw a parallelogram. Okay, this means it's parallelogram, right? R, S, T, U. And diagonals intersect at M. Okay, and RS is 9, ST is 20, and RM is 11. Okay, now diagonals, and the problem is asking is this shorter or longer than this, SM or RM, which one is longer, right? So the one thing to remember, the diagonal of a parallelogram has a different lengths unless it's a rectangle. If it's a rectangle, diagonals are congruent, right? That's why when you're drawing a sketch, don't draw a rectangle, then it's gonna confuse yourself thinking that they're the same lengths. Okay, so in general, the parallelograms have a different diagonal lengths unless it's a square or rectangle, right? Or square is part of rectangle. Okay, but another thing you need to know is that the diagonals that go through the obtuse angles are shorter than the diagonals that go through the acute angles. If it's a parallelogram and then it's not a square, you always have a set of acute angles and obtuse angles, because otherwise it's going to be over 90 degrees and that's a rectangle, right? So if it's not a rectangle, then it's going to have a set of obtuse angles and acute angles. And diagonals that go through obtuse angles will always be shorter than the diagonals that go through the acute angles. So in this problem, you're looking for either this is longer or shorter than this. You are actually looking for if this triangle right here, the RST, is obtuse or acute. If this is obtuse, then SM is shorter. If this is acute, then RM is going to be shorter. Okay, so we're actually looking for this triangle, whether it's obtuse or acute. And since diagonals bisect each other, if this is 11, this is also 11. Okay, so the hypotenuse is 22. Hypotenuse is the longest length of the triangle. Okay, so 22 squared is greater, equal, or small to 20 square plus 9 square. So 22 square is 484, question mark, 400 plus 81. So 484 is greater than 481. Since hypotenuse is longer, that means it's obtuse, right? So that means SM is shorter than RM. SM is shorter. Let me just double check. Now, when you do this, please don't do this, okay? What's wrong with that? The segment is not a length, so you cannot connect with equal or inequality. So this is incorrect. If you want to show with inequality, you have to say RM, the distance between R and M is longer than SM.